Good morning, YouTube crew. How are we today? I'm feeling a little bit fragile today. I'm not sure whether I'm slightly coming down with something, but night before last, had a slightly later night because we went out for a little bit of a date night. So probably didn't go to bed till about 10:30, and then all night I was just up sweating. And then the day after, I just felt, that feeling when you just feel really exhausted, like your body's been literally hit by a bus. That was literally me all day. What are we on today? We're on Sunday today. So that was essentially me. My Whoop told me that I was 5%. I don't think I've ever been on 5%, 5% before. So I just had a really kind of quiet day. I slept really well last night. I think I got 9.5 hours. And I do feel a lot better, but I just feel like a little bit nasally. So hopefully it's not coming to anything. But anyway, it's funny because I was only just saying to myself, God, I don't know the last time I was ill. Like, I'd like to think that I'm not ill very often. And that's always the way, isn't it? You kind of almost jinx yourself, because I told myself that I'm never ill, and then now I'm beginning to feel a little bit. Anyway, so another week of growing, gone well. Weight is up now, pretty much 70 kilos, which for sort of 5'3" is quite a lot for my size. But actually, it's always really nice to look back at certain points, because I am definitely holding a much better body composition at 70 kilos to when I was last 70 kilos, which would have been last year, and like even the year before that when I reached 70. I remember reaching 70 and just feeling fat, basically, just feeling like a bloody potato. And I remember Dan just being like, look, you need to do this, because you letting that weight come on your frame will allow you to get stronger in the gym. And it definitely did. But it's just nice to see that actually every time you do a grow phase and potentially you come back down and you push back up to that point, you definitely see the improvements. And now it's very much never trying to be, I will never ever want to try and be a certain number. Like, I remember when I first ever started my journey, I had this obsession with being 9 stone. I don't really work in stone anymore, but I'm pretty sure that that's about 56, 57. I'd have to work it out. Now, if I tried to look like that, I'd look unwell, because, like I said, I think on stage I was 58, 59, and obviously when you're stage lean, you don't look well. So should never be about a number. Don't ever chase a number. I think enjoy the process of building muscle, and ultimately that's what's going to change your body composition. So you may be a certain number, you may weigh more, but you'll look 10 times better. And essentially I do that. I'll put my check-in photos so that you can kind of see. We were up in weight. I think weight was up by 0.8 this week. My period did turn up this week. So sometimes, well, for most of us, we probably do hold a little bit more water, do feel a little bit more bloated, but it's going well. So what I thought I would do today is just take you through a full day of eating with regards to what I eat, also with regards to my supplements. What supplements do I currently take? I'm actually training at a different gym today. I'm going to a gym that's recently opened called Culture. Romain and Lisa, and Romain was actually my first ever coach when I got into training, and I actually signed up to like an 8-week shred thing with him. And I remember doing it, and I didn't really know anything about bodybuilding then. I wasn't really into competing, so I wasn't really following that kind of industry. And I remember him saying to me, like, have you ever thought about competing? And I was like, what is that? And he was just like, I think you'd be very, very good at it. I think I locked into that 8 weeks. It was hard, but I literally just signed up to it, did what he said. And I had like a bit of muscle, obviously nowhere near as much muscle as I have now, but I definitely had some muscle. And it was actually him that kind of said, I actually think that you'd be really good at competing. And he was actually my first coach to take me through my first prep, and actually it was amazing. I came third at a regional. Back then it was the UK BFF, which I think they are still around, but it was a kind of like the IFBB route, especially with wellness. I came third in my regional, and there was like, I think there was like 36 girls, which I was absolutely buzzing with, because back then they didn't do like a first timers. So I was on stage with girls that had like way more experience. Like, I remember standing in the queue just thinking, why the hell am I doing this? Because it was very, very nerve wracking. I came third, and then I went to the British. So you have to get invited to the British at the end of the year. And I came second out of like 40 girls, which was just like, I think that was like a light bulb moment for me, that actually this is something that I could be like good at. That I'd only essentially kind of had 1 year of doing it. I'd only really had like 3 months of growing, because I did the 8-week, probably slightly longer. We did the 8-week shred, then we did 3 months of growing, and then we dropped down into a prep. That prep was in May, and then the British finals was at the end of the year in like October. So we only really had a little gap in between to essentially like push my food up, regain a little bit of body fat, and then I had to come back down. So yeah, to kind of achieve that in my first year with not essentially really growing was exciting, and I definitely got the bug for bodybuilding. Just the process that you go through, pushing yourself, wanting to be better. Definitely got the bug for that. So it'd be really nice to go down to this gym today, because Romain and his wife Lisa own it. And I remember years and years ago, that was always a goal that they always wanted, was to open their own gym. So it's really cool to see like their goal essentially come to light. So I'm going to be heading down there to train. Be a little bit more of a fun session today, because they've got lots of equipment, and I think they've got lots of like glute specific stuff. So it is a quad and glute day today. But I may try some slightly different equipment just for today, and just because. So first meal that I'm having this now. This is my oats. This never really changes, with whey, bit of fruit, and I've got a bit of peanut butter. So I'll have this as my first meal. Supplement wise, what I've already had this morning. So I always get up straight away and drink a good litre of water. I take that with my electrolytes, and also 5 grams of creatine. I tend to have my morning sups with my breakfast. I find taking, I think it's the multivitamin, but I always find if I take that on an empty stomach, I always feel a little bit weird. And actually there's some fat soluble vitamins in there, which to get the best absorption from those, you want to take them with fat. So I take my omegas as well. So my supplements that I take in the morning is vitamin D, my multivitamin, and did I just say? I've forgotten what I take. Multivit, vitamin D, omegas. Sorry, that's the 3 supplements alongside my electrolytes and my creatine. Take that with my meal 1, and then I will, for my pre-workout, I've got my pre-workout pump that I was making earlier. I put another 5 grams of creatine in that pre-workout. To be honest, I don't think you should massively stress about the timings. They say sometimes taking it like pre or post workout that creatine can be a mild GDA. So basically what that means is it can help the uptake of carbohydrates, but it does also have lots of cognitive brain sort of functioning benefits. So I always take 5 grams, I take 10 grams a day on a rest day. I just take it in the morning. On a training day, I do 5 in the morning, and then I do 5 pre-workout. But I don't think we need to massively stress about the timings of taking creatine. So that's what I would take. I've also put glutamine, so it's an amino acid that I've put into my intra with my aminos. So that's just going to help with sort of muscle recovery, being able to push harder. There are electrolytes in the aminos that I take from Complete Strength, so having those during my training sessions, because definitely as of lately, I'm sweating a lot, so I definitely would recommend taking electrolytes if you are somebody that sweats, because when you sweat, you're letting go of your minerals, so you kind of want to keep those replenished. So that's the supplement so far. And then I do take some supplements later on, kind of in the evening, and I'll run you through the ones that I take and the reasons for it. So I'm gonna have this meal now, and then I will be getting on the road, and then I will take you to the new gym. You can check it out. I'll take you through the session, and then, like I said, I'll be taking you through a full day of eating of what my food currently looks like. It is pretty high, but it needs to be high. Wow. It's always in relation to you. Like, I eat more now in my growth phases now than I did in my growth phases when I was when I had less muscle. I'm also probably, my NEAT is probably higher now because of having Winnie. Like, I do sort of, 15 to sort of 17k steps a day, whereas before, when I didn't have Winnie, I'd probably say it was more sort of like 12, 13. So all those kind of like little factors, can affect kind of what you have to eat. And this is why I think it's important that you don't compare to somebody else, compared to where somebody else is at their point of their journey. Some people do have to eat a lot of food to grow. For some people, it's not loads. Obviously, it's not going to be diet calories, but it's just focusing on, I think, your own journey. So let's have this meal, take you to the gym, and I'll take you through a full day of eating. You don't mind being in it. God, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought that we would do.
big, it's very spacious. Really like the lighting in here. It's got a really nice vibe, everyone's really friendly, the kit's really good. Some of the Glute builder stuff that we've been on is very, very good, to be fair. So yeah, so gym's about half an hour for me, so it's always annoying when it's gyms like that, because it's a sick gym. It's like, for me to train, get here and get back, that was probably like a 4-hour round trip, which on the weekends is fine, but in the week I probably don't have 4 hours, which is annoying. But very, very good gym. So if you're in the Bristol area, definitely check this gym out. Culture, very, very nice. So most of the session is done now. I've just got leg extension, leg press and kickbacks left. So I'll continue to take you through the session and I'll catch up with you after. Wow, that was a fab session. That gym is very, very good. So if you're in the Bristol area, I definitely highly recommend a visit. If you live in the Bristol area, then I'd definitely consider checking that gym out. I've actually got some online clients that have joined, so one of the reasons, as well as going and having a look and experiencing it, was that I wanted to be able to kind of know the kit that they've got to be able to program them, because they've got quite a lot of the Glute, I think it's called Glute Builder, I don't think it's Booty Builder, I think it's another one. They've got quite a lot of that equipment, so I wanted to be able to kind of have a go on it and see what it's like, obviously alongside hearing their feedback of what they've tried and what they've found. So I'm going to be very looking forward to writing their programme tomorrow. But yeah, really, really good session. We were in there like nearly 2.5 hours, but I did actually catch up with Romain. It was really nice to see him in there. They've just done a really, really good job. Fantastic job with that gym, so fair play to them both. So home now, and I'll have my post-workout, which never changes. That's always chicken and cereals. I've already texted Niall and asked him to put my chicken on so that I can have that straight away when I get home. Just come for a little coffee, haven't we, Win? Eh? Niall's having a cake. Niall, what are you having?
A raspberry and white chocolate blonde.
Blondie. Yeah, it does look really nice. I've just had my post-workout, so...
Good thickness, good density. Proper bit of cake.
Very nice. You'd like a bit of that, wouldn't you, Winnie? Hey?
See?
You can have your Bit-Bix instead. But yeah, I've just had my post-workout, so I don't really want a cake right now, even though it does look nice. I'm just going to have my iced coffee. We like coming here. This is only about just under 10-minute walk, so we often walk here, either get a coffee, get a cake, let Winnie just sit. We force her to just have to sit and wait. And it was when she was first little, it was actually quite hard because she just wouldn't settle, whereas now she's actually pretty good. Although you're just sitting there nicely because you're hoping that you're going to get some food, aren't you? Hey? But yeah, I'll have this now, go for a little walk, and then it'll be meal free. Just having meal free sourdough and eggs. I have 150 grams of sourdough now, which is actually quite a lot. And I do tend to follow a meal plan because I just find it easier. I find it's one less thing to think about. Like, I very much know how to do macros and I know how to use my Fitness Pal, but I just can't be dealing with having to sit down and work out how to hit it and that. So I much rather just follow a meal plan, to be fair. And all of the meals that I have, I do very much enjoy. And if I do get bored of them, my kind of knowledge of investing in understanding how to track food, understanding about macros, understanding the quality of the diet, all of that means that I can I can very easily do that. But yeah, I do tend to have a meal plan. So this is meal free, so I'll sit and have this. I need to do a little bit of work this afternoon, but I tend to try and have, other than legs on a Sunday, and I always have a little bit of admin and bits and bobs to do. I try to just have a little bit of a chilled day because it's then hitting the ground running tomorrow, and I think we all need a little bit of chill time. So yeah, gonna have this meal now, do a little bit of work, and then it'll be time for dinner. Do you want my eggs on toast? Is that what you'd like? Hey? It's not dinner time for you yet, I'm afraid. And you're on a little diet because when Mummy took you to the vets, you'd gained a little bit of weight, hadn't you, eh? I think where it was a bit hot and you wasn't getting as much walking or doing as much sprinting, really, were you? Eh? Eh? But it won't be long and you can have your dinner, alright? Won't be long, will it? Eh? What have you got for tea tonight? Eh? What have you got? You've got, Winnie, beef and tripe. And it smells really nice. Doesn't it? Eh? Really nice. Just doing the exciting job of washing up and getting the dinner ready. We don't have a dishwasher, so it's washing up. And when you eat 5 meals a day, you do feel like you do a lot of washing up anyway. Has to be done. dinner tonight, I did realise that I actually had a cream of rice meal this afternoon, but I forgot to share it. So I had cream of rice. If you don't know what that is, basically it's rice flour and it's got like a sweetener in it. Very, very easy to digest, gluten-free, so if somebody struggles from a gluten-free point of view, that can be very nice to have. Tastes nice. You can get lots of different flavours. I get mine from Complete Strength. What did I have today? Strawberry cheesecake. They've got like sweet ones, like you can have like chocolate ones, and I have that with some whey, and I also had it with, oh god that's hot, some peanut butter. So I had that, done some work, just got myself ready. I always like to have my week all planned out from a perspective of what I'm going to do, which I already kind of know. Like I have my days that I do my check-ins, I have my days that I have PT, but then there's also lots of other bits and bobs that I need to do, and I try and have sort of catch-up calls with clients and stuff, so that gets booked in, and then I work myself around all of that. So all of that is planned. We're all ready to rock and roll. I always have quite a busy day on a Monday. I have quite a lot of people checking in, but it's a rest day for me, so I can just focus on, other than walking Winnie, I can literally just work all day. It's quite nice to just have a day like that, and I always like to start Monday productive, because I often think it sets the tone, and I don't necessarily think that you have to work out on a Monday. Like I've literally rested on a Monday for God knows how long, but I think just starting your day with something productive, whether that's working towards the goal that you're working towards, for me, like just having a really productive work day, just sets the tone. So that is the plan. Dinner is on now. I'm just having tonight, well, I normally have beef mince, because I try to not just eat the same meat all day, but I've just realised that I've actually ran out of beef mince, and the food shop delivery doesn't come until tomorrow, so I'm going to have chicken instead. And obviously there's a little bit of fat in beef mince, so I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on my salad and just have that with potatoes. And often clients will say to me, like, how do you make your food, like spice it up? And I suppose you can use, you know, different herbs and spices. If you wanted to make a sauce, you could use things like tinned tomatoes, like salsa. You can use things like low-fat Greek yogurt to give it kind of like a creamier taste. And I definitely think that you don't have to eat a bland diet at all. I definitely think herbs and spices, different vegetables as well, like different vegetables are going to give different texture, different flavourings, and I do always encourage clients, like I don't tell them to eat 100 grams of broccoli, because I think that diversity in your diet is good. Obviously if some clients have digestion issues, and we do have to limit certain foods, there may be certain vegetables that are high on the FODMAP, which, you know, during their time that we're trying to sort of fix the gut or whatever, that, you know, they may have to limit those. But I think providing that you're not having to run like a gut health protocol, I do think diversity in your diet is good. So I do always encourage clients to actually get an array of different veg, different salad, different fruits, because I think it's good for us. So yeah, I'm gonna have, like I said, potatoes, chicken, salad, a little bit of olive oil on there. I've put a little bit of garlic and a bit of rosemary on my chicken and potatoes, but I'm quite happy to eat that. Normally I'd have beef most nights, to be honest. We do eat pretty much the same food. I think it's just one that I just can't be bothered to cook. Every now and then I will make something, whether that's a spaghetti bolognese or a curry or something. You know, those foods aren't off limit. I just find that I just can't really be bothered.
at the end of the day to be faffing around making meals, but you can make simple food taste nice. So gonna have this meal now and then take Winnie out for her third final walk around the block, and then it'll be last meal, and then it'll be bedtime. This is my portion, and this is Niall's portion.
I didn't want that.
No, you did. That's what you're having for dinner anyway. So yeah, unfortunately women don't eat as much as men. But to be fair, I am eating quite a lot at the moment, but not as much as Niall. So these are the supplements that I take before bed. To be fair, I do also take 3 of these. I take 1 in the morning, 1 in the middle of the day, and I take 1 at night. I take my Isha Aid, which is like a female sort of multivitamin to kind of support just the menstrual cycle, the regulation of kind of estrogen, helping reduce symptoms of PMS, typically things like B6, vitamin E, vitamin D, can help with our monthly cycle. We need those, and it's also got a few other things that were specifically put in there, and I definitely do notice a difference with taking that with regards to like the intensity of the PMS symptoms. Calms, which is just like an anti-stress product, so it's got things in there like ashwagandha, curcumin, which is very good for bringing down kind of like inflammation, alongside a few other kind of supplements. So I take that an hour before bed, just bring cortisol down because that's what we want happening. And then I take my magnesium before I go to bed. Just bloody tons of benefits taking magnesium. It's definitely an essential in my opinion, and the more you sweat, the more stressed you are, the more magnesium you actually need. So yeah, they are my supplements that I take before bed. Obviously see my supplements that I took in the morning and during, but they're the ones that I take before I go to bed, which will be shortly. I'm just going to make my evening meal now, and then it'll be bedtime, which I'm very, very excited about. I feel very tired now. Last meal going down. Greek yogurt, oats, fruit, some nuts. It's funny because I'm not that hungry. And this is why when people say about, some people will say eat based on your hunger cues, but I think when it comes to fat loss and muscle building, you can't really listen to your hunger cues, because in a grow phase, if I listen to my hunger cues, I wouldn't eat the amount of food that I need to grow. And also, if I listen to my hunger cues when I'm dieting, then I would then not be in a calorie deficit. So I don't always necessarily agree with that. But anyway, last meal going down. So this is a full day of eating. Trained at a new gym today. That was really cool. Definitely gonna go back. It's just a shame that it's not super close to me, but it is a very, very, very nice gym, and I definitely will be going there for some sessions. And if you're in the Bristol area, I definitely recommend going there for a session. And if you live close there, then I definitely recommend joining there because it's very good. So yeah, day in the life, full day of eating, we're growing, weight's up again, we're embracing it. That's what it's all about. Just focusing on being strong, not worrying about being lean, and just practicing that delayed gratification, that if you want to build muscle, if you want to change your shape, truly change your shape, then investing in the grow phase is what it's all about. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.